Welcome to Yeast or Salmon, Episode 2, a City of Mist 8-episode miniseries. Thanks so much for waiting, and yes, there will be a different name for every episode. Meet us after the break for some Bad House announcements. Our usual content warnings for this show can be found by the Twitch command FOFCW, which I will go ahead. As a reminder, our usual content warnings for the show are Surrealism and Unreality, Capitalism, Fantastical Body Dysmorphia, Romance and Sex, Violence, Cheating, and other dark themes. Today's episode will specifically feature mentions of pregnancy as well. Please take care of yourself first and foremost. Tips. As some of you may have noticed already in other games, we actually use the flashback mechanic from City of Mist to allow our players to get the upper hand. Help our relics with $10 or 1,000 bits for a reroll, or $20 or 2,000 bits for a flashback that they can accrue and maintain throughout the series. My name is Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend, and I will be your horrendous master of ceremonies, as well as the little Tamagotchi creature that you see below me, Maeve. I'm going to pass it on to Zoe.
Howdy, gamers. It is I, the one that plays Soul on Pete or Laminate. There's not much about me. You can find me in most places at Radical Zoe. I'm here to, I love you if you love me. Passing it to Zephy. Passing it to Amir.
That's me. I'm not Zephy. I'm Netta. I go by Amir also. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm going to be playing Percival. Percy. She prefers Percy, and she has she, they pronouns and a bunch of issues we will get into. And now I'll pass it to Zephy.
Yes, it's me, Zephy, and I use she, they pronouns. I go by Zephy like everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, everywhere, even PlayStation. Anyway, don't try to find me there. I won't accept. Anyway, I will be portraying a Darby, and she uses she, her pronouns.
Okay. Let's get into an episode recap. Souleymane pilots a plane after her first 5 years of life, as her curiosity is the only driving force for her to learn, rather than the entire staff of people whose lives are also in peril. It is her birthday, and her net worth is $2.25 million. Hundreds of people she doesn't know crowd around her as she sees herself through their eyes, wearing her prized possession, a necklace with a winged charm. Her relic. Herself. Kairos speaks to their personal trainer about a counselor, Roman Montgomery, making a personable attempt to buy out her trainer's gym. Kairos tells her not to worry about anything, to which her trainer absolutely worries. It is her birthday, and she is worth $480,000. Kairos receives a full plate of armor and a roasted boar indulgently, with seemingly no strings attached. Percival and Darby get called upon the crew's Iron Vault evidence staging room for an impromptu birthday party. We don't quite get to it, but it is also Darby's birthday. Kairos disappears from thin air. At the moment, we don't know Percival and Darby's worth, but we'll get there. Because first, you don't have to have a baby only in one way. You can have a baby, sure, but you can also find a baby. In the marketplace of ideas, a business is a baby. It's a garden that you slice your palm into and you bleed into the soil. And that's also what a baby is. Don't you love to be born and have a fully actualized plan of your future? You will be famous. You will be loved. You will have a job with benefits where you can take care of your older parents forever. You will have 3 children so that I can have grandkids. Did you check if your menstruation app of choice sells your information to health companies? Not hospitals. Health companies. Businesses. Why don't we check in to a certain relic who is experiencing a certain problem right now? Percy. Where do you live?
A one-bedroom apartment. A one-bedroom apartment. Probably close to the middle of the city, but not in the gentrified area yet. Not in any particularly rural or, even significant areas. It is a very plain, unadorned place. She's actually looking to move out soon to put a down payment on the house, but she's almost there. She's not there yet.
What's your morning routine usually like? When do you wake?
She wakes up at least sunrise, and the afternoon she's always awake. There are 5 times of the day where she's always awake and experiencing visions. So if she ever sleeps late, it'll be interrupted at like 5 a.m. and then she'll normally wake up at like 8.
Your 5 to 8 a.m. interruption, cosmic or spiritual, does not happen. This time, it is a purely physical reaction that surges you from your bed to wherever you can land. Maybe it's your bathroom. As a feeling strange to you occurs. Maybe this has happened before. But you need to vomit.
She's aware of the steps to get there, but she won't try to force herself to vomit if she absolutely doesn't need to. So she's just looking at the toilet bowl right now, as if waiting.
And not to get too into it, but it is a grueling, full-body experience for you. Have you been sick before?
That's an incredibly bad question to ask, Percy. Because if not for like a few details of recent memory, she would think of this as like a progression of her ongoing sickness, where lots of things are messing up a possible prognosis for what could be wrong, because there are so many intersecting symptoms, mentally and physically, that could describe what's wrong with her, but doctors aren't even like able to provide the language necessary in this time, in this present, to say what's wrong. Ethically, also no.
Hey, Percy, what's wrong with you?
Am I hearing this through my phone? Her phone's like on the ground next to her after she's sitting on her bathroom floor and her phone's on her side. So is Maeve's voice just in the air?
Yes.
I don't know. How are you today? That seems like the most normal question you could ask right now, right?
I haven't slept for approximately 10 years. So I'm doing great. Very productive, constantly on the grind.
You would be the poster child for the grind, but God. No, this is just like a. This is like a. It's like a bullet point. It's like a bullet point. It's like a straw on the haystack, or a fucking. I don't feel good right now, Maeve. But I don't think that's been a particular surprise ever since you got to know me.
And I think in a very strange way, maybe this has happened before, maybe it hasn't, your phone begins to like vibrate, which that's a normal occurrence. Maybe something's happening. But your phone is like vibrating like as it inches closer and closer into the bathroom, and as it begins to like skid across the tiles in a very horrible way, it is evident it's just Maeve attempting to like scooch across the floor basically to get to where you are. And she has your period app open.
She dreads this part because she knows Maeve's smart. She covers the screen with her hand for a sec, like, Maeve, this is very sweet. I don't want to think it's possible, so just give me a second. And then she cradles the phone and like sits up, as opposed to like giving in to the cold bathroom, because she's probably like clammy and like a little disgusting right now, and the tile feels really good, and her urge is to lay down on it even though it's not good for her back or her joints or her anything. And she has like a moment before very like cautiously looking like, yep, still on the app, and then she looks at it.
You're late.
If I didn't have divine given endometriosis and the worst irregular periods known, not to man, but to, something bigger, this would be normal. Percy wouldn't feel anything. But there's just like a one long sigh through her teeth that just doesn't seem to end. And then it's almost like she's like whistling through her teeth, like, I can't do it, so I'm not gonna try that.
There's a very expectant sort of like hum going on, as if Maeve, I think it's a kind of a, not clear, but it's just sort of, there's like an idle animation of a little like chibi Maeve, like being like, do you want to talk? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, why don't you come out? Like, having a body is not all that great, but I could not imagine not having a body. She's deflecting. Like, if you're so eager, I don't know the first fucking thing about what contraception should look like right now. You know what's funny? I was thinking of getting my tubes tied when I could afford it through my actual job, Maeve.
I could always get your tubes tied for you. I know a great doctor.
You normally inspire some good feelings in me. I do not. You could lead me to many places that you deemed beneficial for my health, Maeve.
And they cost a lot of money. They cost so much money.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's always like holding Percival back when trying to look out for herself. And Maeve knows this. She knows her net worth. So I don't even think a regular doctor could do it. Not that you would be recommending a regular doctor. I just
You know, Percival, in only 2 years, your net worth has only gotten up to about 60,000, with which you've supplemented in a very measly weekly sum through your job. You know, there's always plenty of other ways that you can afford having your body a little bit more manageable.
No shit, Maeve. Thank you, but no shit, Maeve. If the value of my body comes at the cost of one or more lives, then it might be too high.
What if they want to kill
I've
you?
decided that. Then, Maeve, that's different.
I could send someone to your house right now who would love to kill you. And you could easily get, and then Joe can't do the math, but pretend that Maeve can do the math.
It would be like 20,000
Yes, it would
at
be.
this rate.
And you could afford one of the procedures.
Isn't this more an issue with the medical industrial complex? Like, why do premiums didn't used to cost this much? If this was happening like 20 years ago, one life could have been worth fixing all my problems, and maybe I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this.
Have you?
I can't even tell you why I did it. But she's referring to what's possibly causing this pregnancy, and she's specifically not talking about murder right now.
There's something long said throughout folklore, throughout history. Murder and violence and sex and love all share a common root.
Whose history are we talking about, Maeve?
White European.
All right, yeah, so obviously that's why I don't subscribe to that. Go on, please. I do like it when you monologue.
You're the only one that does. Well, in multiple instances of war, of battlefield, soldiers of similar occupations, similar status or rank may find themselves in a similar longing for intimacy, and an intimacy where even rivals may experience their only way to cope, be delusional about their instance, about their circumstances, is to find comfort in their bodies. Killing someone for your comfort. Having sex with someone for your comfort. The two of them all just sort of marry together. So understandably in my mind. You carry a lot of remorse in your body. It does horrible things to your wrinkles.
She laughs at that.
I don't feel
As
remorse.
opposed to the other things. I know you don't, Maeve.
Soul doesn't feel remorse.
I know she doesn't, Maeve.
What stopped you from killing all those times that you could? And then what propelled you to fuck that woman is leading you all to this very moment.
You're right in that there's a convergence there. I'm not... I'm a bad liar, even if I wanted to lie, which I don't want to. Even though I know you're good at psychoanalysis bullshit, but the reason they converge is not fully because of comfort. Okay, I figured it's because I'm gonna die. So, also, this shouldn't be possible. There are innumerable things wrong with my own uterus right now. And an IUD also fucking hurts. Like, I had to get mine removed. So... Sure. Maybe there's a precedence for this fucking behavior, but if there wasn't something so wrong about the way the power sits in my body, I might be a worse person. Which is weird because I'm in pain all the time. And that doesn't make me a better person. But if all of the heroes are out justifying mass slaughter, then I don't want to be a hero, Maeve.
I think in this scene, the camera here, we are panning towards whatever like sleepwear that you wear. We're panning towards like the back of you where your prosthetic is. Could you describe what that looks like?
So it was before she met Maeve, before she was fully aware of all this. It was just a back brace that would like sit on the hips, and it was really stiff and a little ugly, like just like the foam pad and the metal wrapped around. And then she had a first birthday, and she thought it would be overboard to ask for a lot. And what ended up coming to her was a gold, like outer spinal column, hugging like her lower back and like wrapping around in sort of like a hoop skirt, like the beginning of a hoop skirt, like supporting her hips, that she can wear over anything and it looks fine. But yeah, I thought I would come to a grander conclusion. It felt very natural, and it felt really flexible. And it looks like a fashion, like an avant-garde fashion statement.
Unfortunately, it only addresses a few things. Maeve sighs in a very like robotic, like almost like auto-tuned kind of like melody. As I always say, if you want to feel exponentially better, afford the greatest doctors, kill someone.
And then that person won't need to worry about affording any amazing doctors, right, Maeve?
and maybe you'll kill them in front of their children.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I won't get surrounded in an alleyway by people who thought I was weak because of this. I don't want to be strong because of this, though. I don't think you'd even want to feel remorse, honestly. You're much more fun like this.
I'm long past that.
And morality is hard when all of this shit is in front of us. So she like holds her chest, her stomach, like, I just need to figure out. I just went out and I wasn't having a flare day. So I might need to call out of work. And if you're not chasing other relics, you can hang out with me.
You get a ring on your doorbell outside of your apartment. Whenever you eventually get to that place, it doesn't seem like it's like a pressing, like you gotta sign anything. But Maeve seems to sign off once you get to the door, and it seems to be a like little like care package basket situation. It has chocolates or other candies that you like other little snacks, maybe wine, but also what seems to be like in a very cute like those like health drinks and those little shots. Specifically on the label, it has like Maeve's face on it. It's like printed out. It's like pink. The ingredients are chamomile, myrrh, valerian, carrot seed, anise, fennel seed and root, bitter, sweet, and cultivated rue and juniper. Instructions: drink. Purpose: to induce menstruation. And then also a note that says, get your tubes tied, kill someone.
She laughs at the wine. She laughs at the shots. She regrets the wine now. Like, she has the wine bottle in her hand. She's like, yeah, I really did drink. That's fine. She sort of takes the whole package in the letter. She makes it to her couch before, like, leaving this piece of paper, this very nice glossy piece of paper, just on her face. I think, like, so clear cut. The rules are so simple. And Percy's not going to get out of that position.
Okay. Moving on to Darby. Hello. So, what we didn't get to, unfortunately, was how you spent the rest of your birthday, because it was also your birthday. As far as, where do you live right now, Darby?
Darby doesn't live anywhere that's like attributed to her name. She crashes the most at Miss Lizette's place because that's who originally kind of guided her through her initial appearance here. So her initial plan had been to go there, but I mean, we had kind of decided last episode to go whoring. So,
Or do you end
After
up
that.
anywhere fun?
Darby would have gone in a hankering for some food, gotten like a burrito, only eaten half of it. Say, oh, I'll just eat this in the morning and then forget about it, or to be soggy, you know. And then she would like slowly make her way back to Miss Liz's very large home.
What did you ask for your birthday? Or rather, when Maeve inevitably also called you over 60 times if you were busy in the morning, she asks you, what do you want for your birthday?
Do you have something with a lot of horsepower? Like, I feel like it would be silly to say I want literal horses. That'd be ridiculous, right? So what about something with a lot of horsepower? I want to go fast.
I can get you an extremely gas-guzzling sports car. And that's my only option.
It has to be a gas guzzler. It can't be like a corn one. Isn't that a thing?
No, unfortunately. I mean, you're doing very well, Darby.
Yeah.
And I think Maeve, without your permission, goes through your net worth with you. And Darby, over the last 3 years, your net worth has been $690,000, with which you are able to supplement with any jobs that either Reina or whatever other fun things that you get to do just because. Sometimes people pay you to party.
Yep. It's see or be seen. Okay, but can I choose a color?
Absolutely.
Robin's egg blue.
And immediately there is a knock on the door, and there is a very handsome, sexy person with their shirt off, that like has like a cushion and like your like gem encrusted like car keys now.
Oh, even got the crusty crust. Love it. Thank you.
Do you want to test her out?
Yes, of course. It's right in front of me. I gotta. As you do. So, gem encrusted, keys in hand. She goes in the driver's seat. Turns the key. How does it sound? Does it sound like a lot of horses?
It sounds like a lot of horses.
Perfection. Honestly, she would just like kind of drive around where she assumed like people wouldn't bother her because she wants to kind of go fast, you know. And yeah, some tunes would definitely be in blast. Like, are any of y'all part of the Beehive? You know, a recent album was put out there. It probably would be that.
Yeah, totally. It's been a vibe these past days or weeks or so. There is a whenever it's you, whenever you're around Darby, when you're around anyone, you make them feel special just because it's you, just because you're around. There's this pleasant breeze that just shows up whenever you enter into a room. Darby, what does your relic look like?
It's this super cute feather charm that's like on the bottom of her phone. Ideally I would have my phone with me, but I do not. So pretend my hand is my phone and on the bottom is it's a feather chain. Like, I know a lot of phones don't have like the headphone jack anymore, but Darby's does. Still, just so she can be cute and accessorize this feather.
People have AirPods. And unfortunately, also all of the phones in City of Mist only have one jack that's supposed to be for everything because everything is now Bluetooth. But I think as you are riding out in town, you're seeing like on the phones of basically anyone that you can even imagine. We'll see like there's a common demographic here. but there are many a person with a similar looking feather keychain or a key charm on their phone. And similar to Soul, similar to everyone in your crew, you don't take part in organizing any of these sales. You don't take part in how they get distributed, how they get designed, how for some reason there seems to be limited edition things where they take up this many resources just to have like a slightly dyed feather or a something. What animals are these made of, or what hair is necessarily used? Do you ever worry about it?
Darby takes the approach of not wanting to worry about it, so she doesn't. It's not conducive to what her interests are at the moment. She's a go-getter, so if this actually bothered her, she'd do something about it. But because she's taking this approach of like, it's fine.
When was the last time you were really upset, Darby?
Oh, last month.
Last month.
Good payday.
Good payday. You killed people.
Yep. They crossed the line.
Maeve is particularly happy whenever you get mad, because there always seems to be something that you maybe will take it out on. There is sudden wind front changes. There's sudden natural disasters that can sometimes spiral out into outside of the City of Mist. But you're a go-getter. Your net worth is steadily climbing. You're worth more than Kairos already. But I think you would at the very least know, maybe not to the exact dollar amount, what Soul is worth. But this is Josephine and Maeve just sort of pressing as you're on your drive. How does it feel that Soul makes a lot more money than you still?
I mean, it's really nice to have a goal to
Yeah.
surpass. It'll happen. You just gotta get into the groove and figure some things out, and once that's figured out, it'll get done. So that's the attitude she's gonna have. She's not gonna stress about it.
I think Maeve, there is like a little like panel where there would be like the GPS and like your Spotify and stuff like that. Maeve's face pops up in the pixelated screen. So, what are our plans for today? It's been a month.
Oh, I suppose I've had time. Is there anything interesting I could be doing? Any parties to hit up? Anyone who needs addressed?
There's going to be a pop-up party at the Kiss of Eden. There's going to be another pop-up party at the Kiss of Atlantis. There's going to be a circuit party in an abandoned warehouse where people will be mostly on drugs and not be really drinking any water. But relics love to frequent that place because it's a great place to also get information.
Ooh.
Have you had sex recently? Like, very medical question.
No. Well, no.
What
It was-
counts as sex to you?
We just held each other. I was learning things.
You were learning things.
Uh-huh.
It's for some reason it seems like she's going through something, like some catalog. Did you come?
No, that wasn't the point. Anyway.
I see. Okay, I see.
We mostly were just talking. It was really, anyway, what about you? Wait, never mind.
I'm coming right now.
To an answer? A conclusion?
You see, there is this very great thing that those beyond are able to do, where every second, every splinter of information that enters my mind, you know, I get very excited about information. I get even more excited when people enter into deals with me, become my friends through these little like crews that we have collected all throughout the fabrication. And sometimes people want to have sex with me.
No. I'm sure you're great at it. That's like such a useful feature. Wow. With all the questions people are asking you, you're just getting all that information.
Just let me know anytime you want to just not have a physical reaction, because sometimes an orgasm can be very sweaty. It can be very involved. It can be very emotionally vulnerable. So if you just want to do it with your mind, I can teach you.
Oh. Wait, that's intriguing. But not now.
I'm driving.
I'm busy. Save that for later.
Just let me know anytime you want to try and have sex with someone's mind. I get you.
I remember, like, I had this drunk person tell me all about this one game called Mass Effect. The Sorry, anyway, they would like mind meld. Is it like that?
You're gonna learn something new about Maeve here. She doesn't know what a video game is.
Oh! Wow. I accidentally unlocked something about you. This is neat. Anywho.
Well, if you want me to set you up with a murder, I can always do that. There are some very aggro relics lately. And in particular, there actually is... Feel free to tell Soul if you would like. There is actually sort of a smaller effort for people gathering into bigger crews and going after headhunters.
Oh, that sounds fancy. Yeah, we should probably involve Soul. That'd be a good idea.
And as you're just driving, for some reason, Maeve talked about orgasms. You have this beautiful new car that would essentially just be like a big blue unicorn, in your life as an object rather than as a person here. Is there anything that Darby would like to accomplish?
Well, I was supposed to say, oh, she texts Lizette, but she's driving, so that would be silly. Wait, there's those like voice to text, right?
Yes.
She could struggle through that. She would not be very good. Anyway, the text would just be like, "Hi, I'm on the way to do something really fun. Want to meet up later? If not, that's cool." Whoa, what's that? I just drove past something really neat. I should show you some other time. Anyway, bye! How do you insert emojis? Son.
Delightful. And I think whether or not this happened more, we'll say during your first sort of like birthday morning interview, whenever you got that chance, whenever you got the car, there was also a question that Maeve had, which was, there was this sort of like psych eval situation. It was this question of like, this is your current net worth. Kind of similarly, like this is where you, these are the heads that you took, but also, what was your answer to one particular question? Do you miss Oya, your wielder?
It's like simultaneously a complex and simple answer of like, she's ambivalent. Where like, at moments it's so intense how much she misses Oya. But in other moments she's just so relieved to not be her. And other times it's just like this mixed in between state of just, I could be so much more if I embraced Oya, but would I have these small moments if I became so much bigger than myself? So that's where Darby's at present.
And then Maeve, again, gives you this very like stringent kind of demand. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you miss Oya? Okay.
I do.
And then similarly to Kairos, Maeve like kind of frowns and says, that was the wrong answer, but maybe we'll continue to work on that. Okay. Darby, I can't remember if I already asked you if there's anything else sort of like on your mind or what you do throughout the day, but do you just continue driving at the very least, or do you have an end goal?
No. She would drive where the mood strikes her.
It's a beautiful day. You are a beautiful person. And you are worth a lot of money. With that, we will see a little bit more of Zoe right after the break. But please, everyone, take your time, get some water, get some snacks, and we will be right back with some more insane shit. Thank you so much. See you in a bit. Welcome back. There is a dog on screen. Bad House announcements. To respect and create the space for a Bad House RPG and our viewers to participate in the global strike on Monday, April 15th, we will not be streaming next week. If possible, please do not take part in the economy, but do not deprive yourself, and please plan ahead. Free Palestine. Tomorrow, Embers of Rage, our Werewolf Darkness Eternal series, goes live with episode 5 at 8 p.m. ET, run by the very talented and wonderful Chris Cologne at vo_Cologne. And always remember, our YouTube channel pumps out VODs a few days after we go live on our Twitch. Give our channel some love over there to optimize your viewing experience. We met Percival a little bit intimately. We met Darby also intimately. Now, let's go see what Soul is up to. Soul, it was your birthday yesterday. You went to the Kiss of Eden. Today, it's not your birthday anymore, but you are at the Kiss of Eden.
Of course.
You are standing next to the owner of the club, Leia Stone. This like kind of middle-aged Korean woman with like big curly hair. She smells like cigarettes and weed. She has a very there's a very cozy vibe to her. Like, it seems like she would be like out urban gardening at this moment, or like scissoring another like old lady or something. But she is one of the proud proprietors of the Kiss of Eden, and as well as one of the other owners of Kiss of Atlantis, which is owned which is run and managed for her by a young man named Shoji. The Kiss of Eden is more of your speed because water is not your thing.
No.
What's like a typical conversation you're having with you and Leia right now?
Yeah, I think Soul has just been dropped off via our driver. Gets out of the car, probably tips, even though she probably doesn't have to. Imagining anyone on a salary, any employee on a Soul salary or even a Maeve salary is well compensated from what I would imagine. But tips, because that's what you're supposed to do. At least that's what Leia has told Soul to do. Gets out of the car. Soul has, we'll say, a red suit on today. He kind of adjusts herself, gets out of the car. It's like, what time is it?
What time do you want it to be? It could be like 2 a.m.
God. It's probably earlier
Midnight?
in the day. Maybe like 11, 10. It's demon hours, so like 10 p.m.
Respectable 10 p.m.
The respectable 10:30. She gets out of the car. Leia, baby, how are you?
Don't call me baby.
Dear?
No.
Pal.
Pal?
I'm running out of words. What do you want me to... Just Leia?
Sure. Pal. Just Leia, kid.
I don't like pal. We're gonna stick with Leia. How are you?
Successful.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. How she I think she kind of walks up, does the mwah, mwah, the French, not French kiss. How's Shoji?
A slut.
Fair enough. All right, and I think Soul kind of places it. Okay.
She's gonna go on like an old woman rant here, which is just basically like, I can't say I was surprised when I hired him. He put on a strong professional front, but then he started sleeping with customers immediately.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that. So his whole thing is that he's a healer or something. Whatever.
Really? Yeah. What is it like? Not holistic.
Holistic shit.
Yeah.
In my life, I'm very happy with hierarchy.
Yeah, that makes sense for you. Everything I know about you.
Like, I can't even do all this like relationship shit. Like, just make money.
Make money. Don't fuck. Go home. Sleep. Wake up. Do it again.
Exactly. Make
yeah,
money.
That's why you own this place.
Other people fucking. Not my time.
You're telling me that in your kind of looks her up and down 30 years of life.
I'm 50.
You don't look a day over
Okay.
49.
Make your point.
That you don't, well, let's not say crave. You don't crave a little bit of intimacy, a little bit of care, someone to warm you up after the long night of scissoring.
And she laughs. She almost chokes on her cigarette.
Yeah.
Jesus, kid. You're funny.
I know. That's why, well, actually, I didn't have a follow-up. Yeah, I just know. And you're
I
fucked.
don't have time.
I disagree. You have all of the money in the world, and honestly, enough business ventures to last you at least 3 lifetimes. But I'm not gonna argue with you. Do what you
You're
want.
not.
Okay, well now I kind of want to.
Bring it on.
And,
And then
and I think
she
at that
like
point,
she's gonna bring the bartender over to like get us both like tequila shots.
Yeah. And Soul takes it back. She's like, you know, I love tequila. Now, my dear friend. See, there we go. We're gonna switch from pal to friend. Who shall I partake in tonight? What's your suggestion? Don't, well, money's not really the issue, so I don't expect you to just tell me who's the most expensive.
How about the most expensive?
Okay, there it is. I was gonna pay the most expensive anyway. You were gonna get the same amount of money out of me. You don't want to give me a nice recommendation? What if it's something for my soul, for the soul? Yeah, fine, the most expensive. Yeah, places the card down.
Do you have any power tags that involve sort of like a vibe area check situation, anything along those lines?
Hilariously, yes. I have
Okay.
one. I'm handsome.
Okay, sure. There's some eyes on you from a group of like seemingly like a femme group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just sort of like, they're all similarly dressed in like short, like white dresses. Some of them have like longer sleeves. Some of them have like more like an off-shoulder situation. Of all kind of like backgrounds, it seems. But at least like you're clocking like 6 of them, all kind of like similarly dressed. Maybe like they all came for like a bachelorette party or something.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay. Yeah.
it looks like they are on the dance floor at the moment, and it looks like they are like, they're clocking you. They're like,
Yeah.
they're checking you out. They don't work here, but they're just like, there are rooms here for other ventures.
Yeah, and I think Soul gets like rips and maybe asks for another shot to get poured, rips it back, takes a stance, kind of presses her, and looks at Leia. Yeah, who's that? Who's that 6 mysteriously sexy individuals?
Those are maybe the most respectful bachelorette party I've ever experienced.
People do bachelorette parties here.
One of them's married, I don't know, but they decided to come here.
Okay. Don't see a lot of.
They haven't been a problem. Is the craziest thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, bachelorettes, especially, and she kind of looks at them. It's like bachelorettes tend to be completely hit or miss. Even the good ones don't know where to keep their hands. It's like a straight woman walking to a gay bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my thing. Head over there, say hello, maybe come back, buy a few drinks, have a little bit of conversation. Yes.
As long as you're spending money.
I always spend money.
Okay. Do
I
your
have nothing
thing.
but money to spend. Yeah. And before I come back, can you tell Sheila that I will be procuring her services?
Procuring. Sure.
Sometimes we like to talk.
Just hold
Yes.
each other and just talk.
Sometimes. But when I'm feeling low, yes. Talking turns to... And then it doesn't matter. I'm going to go over there. Stay old.
She's like writing shit down.
Yeah, and Soul goes over. can I like? I don't know. Is there anything I can do to investigate? I can investigate.
Yeah.
I'd like to investigate, and I have curious.
Yes, you do.
As a power tag. I don't think I can swing handsome. I'm just gonna. I got curious.
Add handsome.
I can add handsome. Let's
Add
go.
handsome. +2.
10. Since you let me add handsome.
Okay. All right. So you can ask 2 questions here. Spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask me a question about the subject of your investigation, or ask another player a relevant question about their character. So just between the two, me and you. What do you want to know?
Yeah. I want to know. Leia seemed like. No, that's not Leia. Soul's a naturally curious person, so I think like she investigates everything whenever it's kind of like what's like scientific method, truly always asking questions like what's going on here, how's this going, and she's kind of reading these people, 6 of them, and there's no girls here, there's like no workers here, it's just these 6 people on the dance floor having a bachelorette party at the Kiss of Eden.
There's workers around. There's all sorts of people. Like,
okay.
They're kind of just like equally as like kind of like avoidant of what seems to be the bachelorette party, but like also just like they seem fine. Like they're just.
Yeah. So I guess the question that I'm gonna ask is like, I think she's gonna go up and talk to them, and he's gonna ask, I'm gonna ask basically like, what vibe are they giving off? Actually, yes, what vibe I should have used my other one. It's fine. What vibe are they giving off? Are there any like strong emotions? Kind of like any like potent, strong initial emotions that they're giving
They
off?
are all looking at you. And it's not a romantic thing. It seems to be almost like stalking.
Oh. I think there's a thing where Soul got up out of the chair and began to like walk over to a worker and like grab a drink and like did a glance over to them, noticed that they were watching Soul get up, and Soul was like, okay, that's interesting. So she's like doing experiments and walks around, does a perimeter check basically, and notices that these people keep looking and looking and looking and looking, even when Soul's not looking. And she thinks to herself, okay, there are 2 things that could probably happen here. Either they want to have sex with me, which is likely, or they want to fight me. Turns around, counts 6, thinks back to how many people she's taking in a fight and an orgy. The number caps off about 5. Respectable 5. Picks up her phone. Kairos is being weird. Probably murdering a man. Sends a text. Hey, besties. And then does a strike through. Allies. Word to Kairos. I think I'm about to engage in group activity. Would love at least one of you to help, with like a question mark, like a parentheses and a question mark. Actually, and then like sends another message that says, as much as I would love Percy, probably Darby, but you both could come and that would be great, because it's either sex or murder. Sends 2nd message. Hopefully it's sex. Sends a 3rd message. Puts phone in pocket.
You put it in your pocket and you feel the buzz on your chest, and it's just on my way. OMW, no punctuation, no capitals. Same time, same minute that you
Yeah.
sent
How
this.
long does it take for
So
dollars?
sorry. She said on my way before you sent the 3rd message.
Yeah, no, she sent the third message. Check, sees that you sent it. She wouldn't have seen it had you not sent it in between her typing more messages, and then puts it in her phone and assumes that Darby is either going to show up or not. But Percy coming is like probably enough.
Darby's response would be like, "Sounds lit," but like 2 minutes later, so it's not seen.
Yeah,
But it would be a
real-
bunch of fire emojis.
Yeah, Soul doesn't see it, but trust the process. And at this point, Soul kind of like has a hand on the necklace as she's walking up, and he kind of assumes one of them is in charge. You know, there's always an orgy leader, and wants to walk up to one of those, like that person specifically.
What seems to be the bride here.
Yes.
She is dressed in what seems to be like maybe like probably the shortest of the white dresses with the longest sleeves. She's got ample cleavage going on. Like she has long black hair kind of in a like held together by what seems to be like a very ornate hair stick. And seems to like she smiles at you with a again this very almost like predatory, like sizing you up in a salacious certainly way, but there's something devious, there's something wrong.
Yeah. As he's walking up, he stops a worker with a tray of alcohol again, grabs a shot, pulls out $50, puts it in the shirt, but pulls them closer. Hey dear, I think it's about to get rowdy. If you could do me a favor and spread the perimeter for me, okay?
Spread the perimeter? What do you mean?
Oh, this is Soul telling like a worker before walking over. Just
okay.
basically like, hey, it's about to get
Got
rowdy.
it. Okay.
Spread people out. And then walks up and says, hey, bride of honor? I don't know. What are you supposed to call this? What are you supposed to call people to get married?
That's the weirdest fucking question. You don't need to worry about it.
No, are you not getting married? You are wearing a wedding dress or bridal dress, whatever they call them.
Well, not exactly married yet.
Oh. Are you looking to get married?
I'm very much looking. I'm not engaged yet either.
Who's the lucky person? Oh, never mind. I guess my
There
previous
is
question.
a lucky person, though.
Okay, I asked a good question. Who?
It's you. And she's gonna roll.
Me? Yeah.
Have any of my dice out.
That's so funny. I have
I
nothing
roll
but dice.
2 6s, and I kick your ass, and you die.
That's so many. And I die, and that's the end of my story.
And
I
that's
will
the end
not
of
be
your
back
story,
on
yeah.
Easter salmon.
Then your allies find your corpse.
And then you guys get to eat my corpse.
Oh
and
Jesus,
get
she
my
sucks so bad. She
Live.
sucks.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
If she rolls really badly, I'm gonna start dancing with her and be
Okay.
annoying.
She's gonna go toe to toe. She got a 7 here.
Okay.
Go to toe to toe. When you use your abilities to overcome someone or something in a struggle for control, state what your goal is. Your opponent can describe how they respond at their option. So, only on a 7 through 9. You were going to get a tier 2 status here. Electrocuted.
I don't know where to put that.
I can keep note of it.
That's fine.
Anything related to the status will be that exact penalty.
As a weakness.
Yes.
A
As
tier 2 status for a 7? What the hell would happen on a 10?
a couple other things. She pulls out the hair stick and almost seemingly like a wand, as her hair flows down, it seems parts of her robes and her dress also kind of like flow into like different sorts of sparking layers here, as her face contorts into something more undead, something gaunter, something with less life in this setting. Shoots you with this like beam of electricity, this lightning, sheer lightning, as you can feel what will certainly be like a pretty sick like lightning scar forming in your chest, but she gets you right in the center of your body. Suddenly, immediately, everyone all around you, all of the workers, security people, Leia, are like moving people into like either out or like into rooms or ducking under cover. And at the moment, we'll do a fun little roll off here to see how close Darby and Percy are at the moment. So please roll 1d6 for me.
We don't get to add anything to it.
No. Just a little luck.
I'll do it online.
Darby rolled a 6.
Okay.
And I rolled a 1! All
Percy,
right.
You left first.
Percy, you are still sick. It's gonna take you.
That's true.
It's gonna take you. Who knows?
Like, I have the driver ready for me. I'm just like hobbling to my floor, like, because I don't live on the first floor. I'm like, all right.
And the elevator's broken. It sucks. Yeah.
Mhm.
Darby, you got a new car today.
It's got that horsepower too.
So on the next round, you will be able to act. We're gonna say that all the bachelorette party is going to act as a legion here. But hey, Sol, what do you do in response?
Cry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
just
change the
cry, get killed, gets killed. Yeah. Can I make a tag hurt less, or do I just get it?
Make a tag hurtless? Give me 1 second.
Like, I don't know, me looking at moves.
You can change the
Yeah,
game.
it does. Change the game? What the fuck does that do?
You can reduce a status.
That's fine, but I don't want to do that. I want to hurt
Okay.
people. I think there's a moment where Soul like takes this electricity. Yeah, I should have seen this coming. And she touches at her neck and pulls off her necklace almost as if it's like a ripcord. And as it pulls and shatters from her hands, you see shining, not brightly, almost kind of like a dull luster coming off of her back, these metallic, steel-like wings. And they look as if they should be too heavy to fly. But she, as soon as they come out, she jumps upward and she takes flight into above the sky. Oh, dears. You really... Actually, you have the perfect person here. I really love to party. And she's gonna, I guess, hit it with all you've got?
Absolutely. You have a very clear shot.
Yeah. I have a lot of tags that will help with this.
Okay.
We have surprise from above. Yeah. I have flashes of future action with a sense. Or can I only use one? Can I use how many tags? Does it
You
matter?
can use
Do I
as
have to
many
use
tags as relevant.
Okay, cool. Cuts through anything, precise projectiles, surprise from above, super speed, and I'll say flashes of future action. So a +5?
Yep.
Sick. 15.
Okay. So with hit all you got, that was a +5.
Yes.
Okay. Choose 2. There is,
190.
yeah. You can take cover or secure a superior position, get them good, and then you can add a +1 to that tier. So right now what you're giving them is a +5 already status. There is also control the collateral damage, hold the target's attention, or gain the upper hand and you take 1 juice, which is another advantage for your next round.
Yeah, I think Soul is going to get him good and so +1 tier, and take control, control the collateral damage, because she cares about the Kisleven, and he does not want to fucking ruin this place.
That was very
doesn't
wise.
like fighting here. Yeah, Leo would bill me to hell. And there is an almost precision. Soul's wings are, like I said, they are metallic. They look heavy. They look like they should not be able to fly, but they do with ease. They are feather light. She throws her wings forward almost like a hawk, kind of flying forward the way they do when they want to, like, dodge things. But in this instance, she's throwing them and encircles these 6 people so that they can't really escape, and then rains hell down on them. I guess what I can say what status I inflict upon them. Or did you say that?
No, go. You can give me a snappy 1-word sort of status.
Pierced.
Pierced. I love it.
Yeah, so I think they're like, are they all undead or just the main one?
Let's see. What are were you specifically targeting the bride, or were
I'm
you
hitting
like
all of them?
You're hitting all of them? Okay. As far as area of effect shit goes, I'm not 100% on that.
Right.
But we're gonna say that we're gonna say that they get the tier right here of pierced.
Sick.
But focusing your attention onto the bride in particular, she zaps you with lightning. You fly up into the sky, and with your immense amount of swords and knives, the sort of like wings that become swords, you immediately pierce her into the floor of the or rather because you're controlling the collateral damage here, you pierce her into the floor, but you're perfectly just getting her body and not hitting the pristine floors that were waxed very meticulously, and she immediately dies because you hit her with a tier 6.
Hits you with the tier 6. Does my phone ring? As in, like, do I get money for that?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I think Soul hears the money dropping into the bank account. She doesn't care how much, but she says, okay, well.
That's $50,000.
Beautiful. She'll be happy later. She understands that who she killed was a relic and will, I guess, just kind of like fly around like a hawk, encircling these people to kind of draw their fire or whatever it is the rest of them have.
Okie dokie. We are gonna say we're gonna let the rest of the bachelorette party come at you, and then Darby, you will be able to come in, and then Percy, if you want to roll me another d6, just let me know. Let's see. With this like anguish now, with their queen, this bride dead, all of their appearances again, they kind of become more gaunt. They become more undead. Their hair grows, their fingernails grow, like their skin sinks into their bones, and one is going to. They are not able to fly, but there was this optimization between all of them as a group. And I think there is maybe even the slight, just for flavor, there's a slight vision that you get of what seems to be this like greater undead spirit. And around them seems to be these like little blue flames all around them, 5 specifically, around this greater white spirit. That followed her, and always smiled and praised happily for a marriage that would come. You will become married. You will find the perfect person. And in this anguish now, one of them is going to reach out to you with what seems to be this like almost water-bending elemental strike, with her hands like twisting up almost as if her skin was becoming water, like changing matter, and is going to hit you with all she got. If she sucks, I swear to God.
I hope she sucks.
She sucks. She gets a 6. So she just completely whiffs and misses you.
Yeah. I think it hits my wings, these steel wings that protect me as well as attack.
Okie dokie. Darby, you are able to bust in.
Darby busts in, sees the situation, and is like, "You started the party without me, Saul." And, you know, she's gonna start the offensive immediately.
There are, we'll say there are 5 other people that are at tier 1. They're all pierced. Like there's like through their like the white robes, there's like the holes of what is definitely Soul's wings through all of them. They're all on Soul's in the air. The rest of them are on the floor. Everyone is kind of like still cowering or like still in the process of running away. You are very much really bad at remembering collateral damage. So just so you know, you are in a establishment. So what would you like to do as you see all of this?
Well, she doesn't have a full grasp of the situation, so she's just kind of gonna knock everyone down with her wind.
Okay.
She can control, wind domain. Is that more of a hit with all you got, or just do it?
Depending on the depending on the things that you get, I could see this be face danger, change the game, or hit with all you've got. Soul is at 2 out of 5 status before she is incapacitated.
Oh, well, I clicked face danger, and I got him.
Great.
That.
What did you get?
Mild success with an 8.
Great. Okay. When you use your abilities to avoid an incoming hit, endure harm, resist a malign influence, or hold together, I will name a status with a tag and tier. What powers, what tags are you specifically using here?
Mastery of the wind domain.
Okay.
That power tag. She's trying to avoid invoking like the actual weather inside of a building.
Absolutely. With a power 1, that'll do it. Okay, so we'll say that the status here is that they are united, and we'll say that's like a tier 1. With that 1, that perfectly works out, or rather, with that status. On a 7 through 9, you take the status, but with a -1 tier. On a miss, you take the full status. Okay, so the status is actually towards you. My bad. So the status will sort of be... There's just like a very like strange swampy wetness to all of them. So we're going to say that... I think you are noticing this like electricity kind of factor on Soul at the moment. So your status is going to be wet.
Okay.
Not usually a huge problem for you, but something to take into consideration when there is lightning in the room. Okie dokie. But your status specifically, to avoid their advantage, you knock them all down. Okay. So
Yes.
they are all prone at the moment.
Are they pierced and prone?
They're pierced and prone.
Haha.
Yes, Soul is fucking all of them. This is an orgy. Murder and sex, guys. The ladies went, Darby went, so Soul, it's back up to you.
Hell yeah. I think seeing that they knocked down and says, "Thanks for showing to the party, Darby." And I think Soul's just gonna strike again. I think wanting to avoid more any damage to the to the Kiss of Eden. Not trying to get billed not trying to get billed and banned for the week. Soul is going to come down to the ground and fly lower, and instead use her speed to hit them. So I guess I'll hit it with all I've got. Hit with all you've got again, and I can add. How many things can I add? I guess I'll add surprise from above again. Super speed. There's no hiddens. Yeah, I'll say cuts through anything. It's not projectiles. And featherlight, I'll say. So +4.
Cool.
Please. 11. Because I got a +4.
This is hit with all you've got again.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Okay.
might as well.
What are you doing?
She's basically going to curve up and fly down horizontally to the ground, and just, I guess, kind of trying to cut them with the wings, kind of like a rake. And the things that I got, because I scrolled away, hitting it with all I've got. There we go.
We can say the collateral damage is gonna cover over, so don't worry about having to take that every time.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll say I will gain the upper hand. I'll take 1 juice, and I'll get them good. So another +1 tier.
Okay.
And I can use juice to remove one of my things, right?
Yes.
So I'll immediately use my 1 juice to lower my electrocuted down to electrocuted 1. And so you said I got a +4, so that's a +5. Or 5 tag. And instead of pierced, it's going to be scratched.
Scratched. Okay, great.
Scratched, yeah.
How we will say that this works is that it sort of distributes to all of them here.
Yeah.
So they are currently at 3 tiers. They have 3 statuses all at them right now. You're really fucking them, so good job. They're pierced,
Really?
they're prone, and they're scratched. Wow, Soul.
Wow.
Now, finally,
Slashed.
slash is fine.
Yeah.
Pronto, finally, with Percy in the car. She is in pain. She doesn't look good at all. She kind of Percy, you make your very graceful / potentially sarcastic entrance finally into the Kiss of Eden. What would you like to do?
I first sort of assume that she's pushing past a small crowd of people that are trying to leave. She kind of hobbles through them you need to, and accentuates every 2 steps forward with a hit on the ground with her cane, which sort of sounds like snapping, which is weird. Her cane normally makes that noise, but there's a small parting, and I want to use hit with all you've got, but I want to assess that I have a clear shot on what's going on, unless I should just investigate instead, because if combat's going to be over in a minute, I would rather not do that.
Right. I think you're definitely seeing that Darby and Soul are in very good hands, at the very least. So all of them are on the ground right now. So I think as clear of a shot as you can get without flying.
Okay. Then I would like to use my sword to try and grapple them. So I'll roll for hit while you got, and I will say, can I use? Never mind. I'll have a +3 with my tags as well.
Okay.
Grappling and surprise attacks are easy. So that's a 5, 3, and 3. That's an 11.
Incredible. Okay. Choose 2.
Okay. I take cover or secure position. I think I'm assuming upper hand is just for flavor. I'll control the collateral damage unless there's any narrative way that the other two were going to do it, because I didn't think that was going to happen.
As an added person, you controlling collateral damage is going to be important for sure.
Okay. Then I'll take 1 juice. It says gain the upper hand. In reality, I want to gore the most powerful looking relic in the bunch. Like, have the sword float out and she's still making the motion as if she's using the cane, but it's off her. And it's going to, like a pole axe extending, like a snake from Medusa's head or some shit. It suddenly splits to 2. It starts whipping like a chain whip in the air. Man, I guess gored would be
Okay.
the status, if that's also fine.
You're targeting one of the 5 ladies.
Yes,
Okay,
basically the biggest, scariest looking lady. One scary lady, please.
We'll say one seems to be particularly getting juiced up with electricity at the moment. And getting her to tier 3 gourd. And you're controlling collateral damage again at this time?
Yes. So
Okay.
I would imagine, like, if she is powering up that lightning, that some of it arcs out, and then the sword kind of grounds it so that it dissipates after.
Okay, Benjamin Franklin. You effectively get the ladies down from 5 to 4 with the tier 3 gourd. The big lady is down, and you do not destroy any furniture or any of the beautiful tiling. There are still 4 other ladies who are at status 3. 2 more statuses on these ladies will get them incapacitated, but 3 more will get them killed. Okay.
3 total or 3 as in tiers?
They need 6 tiers total to be just out of the game.
I can do that.
Okay. And because they're spread out is a little bit more of an interesting thing for you, Soul.
Yeah, true.
So we got Percy. Let's get Darby, and then Soul, and then the ladies can go.
Darby's gonna look down at her wet self and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna rectify this situation with more wind." She's gonna basically dry herself. And is Soul nearby?
Soul's in the air.
She could also try to dry off Soul. I don't know. Give her a little boost too. I don't know.
I don't think Soul's wet.
You're not
Yes.
wet?
Soul's not wet. Soul's electrocuted.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that already happened.
You have been wet.
Yeah, but I still have the status, so I'm looking a
I
little
can't do
toasty.
anything about that. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. No, it's okay.
I could do something about myself though. So Darby, so if that's possible, she's just gonna be like, "Ugh."
Yeah, if you want to get rid of your condition, that'll be change the game.
Change the game.
Nice.
So with your wind drying off related powers, give yourself that much of a plus.
Oh, How much do I get plus?
What are your tags?
Basically, the number of tags that
and-
are
Whichever one's
And
can
win.
qualify.
Okay.
2, yeah,
Two?
You fail. Yeah.
well, yeah, that's a 5.
Yeah, it's
If
a 5.
plus 3.
That's a 5. Okay.
Yeah.
There are no specific failure conditions here. You're still wet.
Not working right now. I'm being too delicate with myself.
That's so fun.
You're so restrained.
I'm so restrained.
Yes.
What do? There are 4 more ladies.
So many ladies, so little time. And I think Soul actually says that as she's kind of like sitting in the air, looking at Darby covered in water, looking at Percy, who looks like shit, but is here anyway. Soul's gonna try and send projectiles to each of these monsters to try and she's like, okay, this is, I knew I could take 4, so, and everyone did what they needed to, so she's gonna try to end it. So I guess I'll hit it with all I've got, which is roughly the only thing that I have. Will do. So I'm gonna use my Mythos tags, cuts through anything, precise projectiles, surprise from above, and flashes of future actions. Yeah, that's probably all I can use.
Do you want to AoE spread out again, or do you want to target?
I want to hit.
individuals?
Well, I guess it's AoE since I want to hit all 4 of them.
Okay, great.
So she basically wants to send 1 blade to each of them. So
And that was a +4.
yes.
Okay, good.
Oh god, where'd my other dice go? Oh, nice. 8 plus 4, 12.
Beautiful.
Excellent. So I'm gonna. I don't know why I keep scrolling away. I'll use. Yeah, I'll hit him good. I'll you get them good, or get many of them. So I'm gonna get many of them plus 1 tier, and I guess take 1 more juice and get rid of my electrocuted.
Okay. With the additional 5 tier, you can add 1 onto one of the other. You can add 1 more onto one of the ladies and incapacitate her. She's not dead, but she'll be incapacitated.
Yeah, that's enough. I get to ask questions.
Okie dokie. Also, Percy, as a note, you get $20,000.
I think, she feels the vibration, and she
This is like a bank
It's like-
jingle from Maeve.
it's
You killed someone.
No.
congratulations, Maeve.
What is everyone else's? For the other ladies, is there another tier, or do you just add another status, or add another tier to an existing status?
It's pierced, so just
Okay.
fucking cap all of it up to 6 or 7 at that point. It's probably 6. I think it's 6. No, you said they all had 1, so it's 5. Tier 5 pierced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Soul, kind of not actually T-posing, but the wings, because they have to expand out to the right and left, just kind of stands there with a thinking face and says, yeah, okay, I can do this, and sends 4 blades from each of from her 2 wings out and
Easy
pin
enough.
cushions the rest of these. There's 5 of them, right? You said.
There is 3 of them that are still up, and 1 that is incapacitated now.
Yeah.
So you
they're still
can-
up? Yeah.
You can get the last 3 incapacitated, unless you want to. If you roll and you hit them good, you can kill some of them, depending.
Oh, yeah, I got a 12.
You got a 12,
So-
and it was a 4.
Yeah, plus 4. Plus I added the 1. Plus 1.
Plus
on the
1,
tag.
okay.
Yeah, plus 1.
So that's gonna be. Yeah, they all get incapacitated, and 1 dies.
Nice. Yeah.
So you get another $5,000,
Oh, small fry.
and you now have 3 incapacitated bachelorettes, bridesmaids, whatever, incapacitated.
Nice. And is that all of them?
That's all of them.
Yeah. I think Soul touches down and kind of looks left, looks right. Looks for. Did Leia move?
Leo is still like ushering people and like configuring them right now. Yeah.
Yeah, she yells, "We're good, Leia."
We're good? Okay, everybody, back to partying.
All of the half-naked people. Yeah, I think Soul goes around and like kind of picks up her blades. Actually takes one blade off of her body and then lets her stuff disappear and the necklace configure and goes back to being a necklace because don't keep out the wings if you don't have to. But walks over to one of the people incapacitated, stabs him with a big thing in her hand. That one dies. She gets another $5,000. Walks over to another one,
50,000.
stabs that one.
No, I was gonna ask if I could beat you to the punch, but
Yeah, she would
you're
stop.
going through it.
No, well, she would stop. She would like if you say something.
Percy doesn't say anything. Her blade like retracts from the first scariest lady, and then like as you make that motion down, you hit like right at the chain of the extended blade already going through.
I thought you didn't kill.
It's different when it's self-defense,
Mm,
and we
Okay.
are allies.
Hey, whatever works.
yeah. You want the last one, Darby? After we talk.
Sure.
Okay. And I think
Darby, you get
Soul-
30,000.
yeah, good.
So total money, Soul, you get 150,000. Darby gets 30,000, and Percy gets 40,000.
Nice.
I'll
Wow,
keep track of all of that
amazing.
for y'all.
That is such a the fucking stacker. She's like, don't worry. I think Soul finally pulls out her phone again, sees Darby's message, and is like, oh, and says the number out loud, just because the money gets deposited. Because she doesn't get messages from, she refuses to get messages from
Maeve.
so she gets
But the bank.
messages. But she gets bank messages. She's well, that's an honest day's work that I wasn't expecting. And she snaps
So-
her finger and all of the
So you
blades
didn't
disappear.
leave any of them for questioning. They're all dead.
One. We leave one that Darby gets to kill after we question
Okay.
Cool.
for money purposes.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Leia shoos you all to like either go outside or go find a back room where no one is
Yeah.
occupying it right now.
Grabs this slumped over
Like
bridesmaid.
undead swamp hag looking.
You know,
Yeah.
Let's go outside.
let's go outside. Soul just like tosses them outside this unconscious body because she doesn't want to touch it any longer, and then catches up because she's fast.
Yeah. Percy gives a polite bow to Leia, as in very sorry for the damages.
I'll be back tomorrow, Granny.
My floor is wet.
We can dry it.
Oh, can we?
This is organic wet. This is bloated dead body.
I
wet
know all
shit.
about organic wet, baby.
All right,
I'll be
get outta
back
here.
tomorrow.
Get outta
Here's-
here.
Please, let's go.
Oh,
Leaves, goes outside.
Okay.
all right. Let's do this.
Yeah. And Soul walks over to this bloated corpse, unceremoniously kicks him in the face. Wake up! Shines a light in her face like it's the
A doctor.
live. Yeah, like a doctor, but it's
Check
a
for
phone
pupil
light.
dilation.
Pupils dilating.
So like her
That's
hair
like shining
is
a
like
light in your face.
super in her face. Like she's looks awful. She's like a dead corpse person.
Yeah. And it's like, the funny thing is, for how curious Soul is, she has a worse attitude when you interrupt the things that she likes to do. So she's like technically asking this person's this corpse questions, but she's like kicking them and like shining a light. She's basically just being really fucking annoying. Hey, why did you show up here? Who are you?
If you want to give me an investigate, you can. It's going to be at a penalty.
That's fine. Yeah, no. Soul.
It should,
Soul has a weakness tag of scares people. People think I'm a freak.
Yeah.
Oh god. Absolutely the fuck not. I rolled a 2, a 1, and I used my weakness tag. People think I'm a freak. So I got.
So you got. Was that one?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I have nothing, hilariously. I need to write down curious on here, but I have nothing on here that, like, helps.
Okay. You're also going to get a -1 penalty to that, so you got a 0.
For fun.
The corpse lady, again, just, like, grunts, like, ugh, ugh.
Answer the fucking question, corpse.
I think Percy, like, hobbles a little beside you and, like, taps. Are you wearing boots? You wearing shoes?
Yeah, Soul's almost always wearing, like, boots. And she's, like, kicking this person. This is the side of Soul that most people don't get to see. Pissed off, angry, not technically curious, but mostly just taking out her agitation. Like a child that has been, like a child whose toy you've taken away.
You feel the barbed wire bit of Percy's cane not stick into your boot, but like rest against your boot. As she like gently taps it, you hear snapping in your head every time she hits.
What? Why are you snapping at me?
I'm not. You're not gonna get anything out of this. You need a cooldown. I'm sure. Well, I actually am not sure who the aggressor was, but like,
not me. And that's why
gentle
I'm
touch.
Gentle touch. Okay. They showed up. They organically wet the floors.
I'm gonna also roll an investigate. Yeah. I'm gonna do an investigate.
I didn't show up like this.
I'm gonna also like try and inspect her body too, so I will be adding my pharmacy related, my healthcare professional related tags, which is basically 2. Cautious. So that's a +3. All right, that's a 3, a 4, and a 7. So, or 3 and a 4 and a +3. So
10.
10. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So give me. You can ask 3 questions.
In terms of the fabrication, were these group of people designed, because we don't know why they came, like, she's wondering, like, actually Percy's wondering, like, is she undead? Like, is this like something that could be clued into like where her power comes from, with the swamp hag powers and all that? Her second question is, can we figure out if there is a larger group where she comes from? So like where she comes from in this universe and where she comes from in the mythological sense. Those are 2. Are there any other questions you were thinking of? Just thinking of the party. I think Percy would be a little smarter than this, because she's also looking like a little clinically at her physical makeup to try and assess her power as well. I guess how strong she is.
To answer the first question, it seems that this is sort of like an item. This is like sort of an object of like. This was a talisman, basically. This form used to be what seems to be like a driftwood based thing from a very humid land. specifically to create great elemental affinity. What was your second question? Like, basically, like, what is this?
Yeah, as in, like, the whole group of them, could I draw any conclusions about who they're affiliated with? Like...
Oh, I see. They genuinely seem to be unaffiliated other than within themselves. Like, it's unclear if this was like one entity, like, right, like a hive mind situation, like a legion or something that was sort of they all came together into the world, were born together, or if they like found each other. That is probably like a little bit culturally unclear to you. But hive mind is definitely what you have in mind, especially if they were like all potentially made by something that was then also made by another person. But seems to be just like shamanistic talismans made for elemental affinity with no affiliation specifically. The one thing I will tell you on that success, though, is they were exclusively after soul.
Yeah, which is weird because it looked like such an easy fight from her impression that it almost pings as wrong. Like, why would you go for a clearly losing battle? But yeah, she kind of gets up unceremoniously with a sort of faraway look on her eye, and turns to Soul. Have you been making any enemies as of late? Like, I guess if we're not including the mass murder, which we might as well include.
I don't mass murder. I murder continuously as it shows up. Multiple
like
people.
You said, it's self-defense.
It's self-defense, and sometimes it's an accident, and sometimes we're having sex and things happen. And I find out that they were assassins.
And then they just walk into your blade.
And then well, no, I shoot them.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I'm making any more enemies than usual. Why?
So you're saying you texted us and you said possible trouble. They were targeting you.
Yes, they were radiating bloodlust. I could tell that.
Yeah. You're worth a lot of money.
I am.
She looks sad at that. It's probably not good.
Question for the GM. Do I know that the more people I kill, the more money I'm worth?
Yes.
Yeah. And you say that, and she's like, I guess I've never really thought about that part. I understood that I got money for killing.
I think there, maybe, like, it did not occur to you specifically, Soul, because,
yes,
like, maybe you've just killed so many. But if you, like, ever looked at the math, one of your one of the people that you killed could have actually yielded like 150,000 as well.
Yeah, and so Soul would have like mathed that at points because it comes up on the bank statement, and she realizes like some fights that maybe lasted longer than others would yield her more money.
Yeah,
and she as curious as she is, she hilariously never really thought about the possibility of like, oh, I'm worth money as well, and why anyone would hunt me for that.
2.5 million plus 150,000 right now
for what I just did. I guess I am.
And I mean, I think when you look at the what the women look like, they weren't wearing extravagant clothing whatsoever. You know, they didn't seem, you know, a lot of people maybe show up to the Kiss of Eden wearing designer shit or something along those lines. They wear your
which she's used
necklace
to.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, and I think she kind of looks back at you, Percy. Because she's someone who is steeped in elegance, the finer things, every single night.
Percy's
She
not.
always has, not always. She has for the most of her life, and when she wasn't, she hung out with people like, well, Leia. It's a money thing. I see.
Gotta turn that curiosity inward.
Y'all have one more question.
I kind of want to throw it to the party if y'all have other questions. Because this sort of seems like an almost normal occurrence. So,
Yeah, but never that many people.
I guess I couldn't. Could I bank a clue? That's not how it works.
Can I use it?
Yeah. I'll probably just be like arousing her as we're like basically looking over her body together anyway, so.
Yeah, I think Soul kind of takes us in, and I think she looks at Darby and is like, is anyone hunting you?
Not that I'm aware of. Well, for murder, I mean killing me. No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And Soul is gonna like walk away from you two, and kind of like, it looks as if she's looking out at the kind of sky to a sense, almost like pondering. But GM, I would like to use, I would kind of like to use the last question as a broad one, and also use a move of, is there anyone else? Like, is there anyone notable in like the vicinity TM still like hunting me? Like, am I still on someone's list? Is there about to be a next coming? And I would like to use my seventh sense.
I think... What would this be? I'm not gonna... You don't have to roll.
Okay.
I think you are aware there are 4 major, strong ley line, magical ley line places in the City of Mist. There's the Cathedral. There's the Fashion District. There is the Planetarium. And there is the motherfucker. What is it called?
The place where Kairos is, right?
City Hall.
The gym?
Yes, City Hall. Which
Fashion
is next
District,
to the gym.
Planetarium, Cathedral, City Hall. Those are easily 4 places where you could begin to make a discovery here, or make some sort of separate investigation to see there could be someone from within these places that are interested in your downfall specifically.
Yeah. And Soul kind of does a perimeter check, like of a vibe. We'll say like a mile out, and senses that there's no one else around here with like bloodlust or like hunger or desperation. And she turns to you and says, the danger has passed for now. But
Darby, do you kill this person?
We're done here?
yeah, we're done.
Yeah, Percy like gently lays the woman's head on the ground, gets up, hobbles like, give it your best shot.
All right, it was awful to meet you. I am all moist. I hate this. Die about it. And yeah.
She tosses you a blade. Yeah, and you could just...
Oh, okay, that works too. It's rustic.
30,000. Soul, with his, you're not sure if it's new information exactly, but it is put into perspective. We've talked about murder and sex this whole episode, but I think in your mind it all started with the first murder. We're going to flash back now. Soul. Or however you would like to start this.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
I think Soul remembers bits and pieces before the big day. I think Soul remembers almost the sensation of being born, but you don't have a lot of memories. You only really see things happening. You don't really understand them. Almost as if she's laying on her back looking up at the world as best as she could with no eyes. She sees a cave, almost a hole, a pit, something that only really shows light every now and again. There is a boy here. Every now and again he'll walk away. Soul can't move, so she can only really see this one individual from, first person perspective. And he comes back and, he comes over with, like, we'll say, big bird-like feathers over. You still kind of see Soul. Soul sees the feather, and then it goes down to her left, and she feels something kind of change. And, all of a sudden I can move my arms a little bit, or what is considered arms. And this goes on for a number of hours. She falls asleep. It goes on for a number of hours. She falls asleep. A number of days. Days maybe even turn into months. This boy is desperate, trapped. He looks at Soul as if she is his only hope. She doesn't really know that. She didn't really understand that at the time, but she knows that now. Until the big day, as he picks her up, kind of like looks at her with this big smile of pride, as if months and months and maybe even years of hard work has finally paid off, and that admiration is being placed upon Soul. She can't really talk. She has no mouth. She doesn't even understand how she can see.
You're raised up in this boy's hands. Beautiful. We did it. And he looks around sort of conspiratorially. Father, not quite awake at this point, potentially. He straps you on, and it feels like you're being embraced for the first time. What you can only imagine what that would feel like. The feeling of a biological warmth. And as he stretches, you stretch, and there's this wholeness between the two of you that you feel. But you've been spoken about this entire time, this actualization, this legacy here to fly. You are perfect. You're beautiful. You are this one thing. As he takes you outside, there again is this wholeness here. And you both flap the wings, feel the movement here. And suddenly, you for the first time are flying, and this boy is flying. What is the experience?
It is like riding a bike when you realize that as you pedal, you move, and as you move, you go farther and farther and farther. But more than that, it's what she was made for. She feels her wings stretched almost so far that they feel that they can break, but also so perfectly that it feels like in nature she is wrapped. She has her arms wrapped around his. The two of them moving in unison. We go up and up and up, and the further that we get from the ground, the closer that we feel the closer we feel like who we're meant to be. And she can't speak, but she feels joy. this pride, naturalness.
You don't feel it, but he begins to sort of shake, tremble even. Wait. And he seems to struggle against you.
And she feels the struggle, the pull, and she, for now, lets it go a little bit. She lets the control go, as it seems that he wants to hit the ground for some reason. She wants to understand why. So they go down.
You can't feel what he feels. You don't know what he is experiencing. Is his skin beginning to boil the closer he gets to the sun? But you know he and his father, this man that he apparently is, what you also don't realize is trapped alongside. They covet the sun. They want to see it. You want to see it. So as he struggles, your curious nature, you were born to be curious, you were born to be perfect. He struggles against you in your vision of perfection.
As we lower, Soul hears a little bit as we lower from that heat. Soul doesn't understand yet what's going on, but she hears sizzling, which seems interesting. She feels struggle. There's a push and pull that she gives, letting him lower so that she can focus on seeing what else is happening. It's getting warmer up there, almost like the warmth of being held for the first time. So, after kind of giving him a break, she goes up and then goes down, experimenting. And then she goes up higher and then goes down. And the screams are happening. She doesn't really understand screams yet. She's never really understood screams. She was born, yesterday? She barely has a consciousness. She hears pleas, cries of begging, and she wonders if that is the same thing as praise. So she keeps going higher, and higher, and higher, and higher, until she herself is melting too. But it doesn't hurt for her. So she wonders why he doesn't like it. But she can't ask.
He falls. You fall, hurtling down towards rocks and ocean. His body slams against your body, and you don't feel pain, but you can't have that delicious freedom, that movement anymore, and you are submerged by water. You feel trapped. But the boy who held you for the first time, gave you life for the first time, no longer moves, no longer talks. Back in the city of mist, away from this fog that clears from your head, what is the feeling as you remember your first death, your first kill?
As Soul is sitting on a rooftop over the edge of the city, she's smoking a cigarette. The feeling is warm. Just like being held for the first time.
And that is where we will end episode 2 of feast, or famine. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. My name is Josephine. I am at Scary Dog Friend. I have been your MC, as well as Maeve, your period app that is invasively giving your health information away to businesses so that they may create fun apps for you to also spend money on about your own bodily autonomy. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it over to Zoe.
Hello, everyone. It is me, number one Maeve hater, Zoe, and as well as the number one Maeve hater, I'm Soul. If you like what I did, then you'll love what I do everywhere else. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, not YouTube, at Radical Zoe, and yeah, that's actually about it. You'll see me on some credits eventually. Give me a couple months. Maybe while we're still doing this. I'll let you know. When I know, you'll know. Who knows? I'm going to pass it to Netta.
Snatched, that's me. And also Amir, that's also me. And I played her, they, where we went over one or two of our problems, I think. And I think that went well. So, plugs are just socials. Like, you can find me on Twitter at trans_father and Blue Sky at transfather. I'm gonna try and publish some games, but that's not happening yet. So please just follow me, please, and I will pass it to Zeph.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you kindly. I'm Zeffy, and you can find me everywhere, basically as Zeffy. It has, 2 eyes. I don't know. I forgot why I did that. It was probably because, the other Zeffy was taken. Anyway, there's so many different ways to spell Zeffy. But yeah, any major updates I put on my Twitter, formerly Twitter. So follow me there if you want any news. But yeah, no further plans at the moment besides this, which I'm really excited about. So, anyway, that's it.
And obviously, Austin could not join us for today. Austin's socials are Sailor Scout Austin. Follow them. We will be revisiting them when we see each other again after the week of April 15th. Once again, Bad House RPG will be participating in the global strike. So again, if possible, please do not take part in the economy, but do not deprive yourself, and please plan ahead. Happy Eclipse, happy everything. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.